Hello! On this video, I will present the updates that were recently implemented on the process map. As you know, the process map can be opened by many elements on the platform. On this example, I will open the process map directly from a profile group by clicking on the option View as Process Map. The first improvement is that now the process map is opened as a separate view, and that means that I can navigate to other screens keeping the process map opened. I can even generate more than one process map at the same time and navigate between them. When I open a process map, as you can see, now we have a ribbon bar with a few actions available. The first one is our search bar, and we made a few improvements on the search results in order to bring more clarity. So now, for example, I can navigate between the search results, as you can see. The second action available is to hide or show some elements on the map. For now, this is available only for inputs and responses. If I click on the In Between Inputs/Responses to hide them, the input agents and the response units that happen between two elements, between two profiles, for example, they are hidden from the map. And instead of seeing them as nodes, I will see only the icon directly on the line. If I hover the icon, I will see more details about the response and the input agent on this case. There is also another option available, where I can hide all the inputs and responses. This is especially valuable if the map has a lot of nodes. By hiding the inputs and responses, I can have maybe more clarity about the other nodes available on the map. Another action that's available on the ribbon bar is that now I can select on which layout I want to see the map. The default version is left to right, but I can now see the map from top to bottom, if this makes it clearer to me. The final action available is the Debug display, because now I can see directly on the map if the last run of a profile was on error. And I can see this by this bug icon that is shown on the node of a profile. For example, I can double-check on the control center, logs, errors here, and I will see that the last run of this profile was on error. That's why this icon is shown on the map. I can hide the debug display if I want. Again, it's important to highlight that for now, the bug will only be shown if the last run of the profile was on error. In the future, we intend to implement more filters to show the bug in other situations as well. Another improvement is that now it's easier to see how the nodes, how the elements on the process map are connected between each other. Because when I click on a node, I will see this green line that shows exactly which elements are connected to which elements. Also, to bring more clarity to the map, it's now visible if the profile is inactive. And it's also possible to identify if an item doesn't exist anymore. So, this helps me to identify issues on my process. When I go to the profile nodes, I can also see now the icon of the type of mapping. So, for example, if the profile has no mapping, has mapping, or is data routing, I can see this icon directly here on the process map. On the profile nodes, I can also see if there is a pre-parser and if there is an integration unit. Improvements were also made on the minimap, so now it's easier to navigate between the process map by using the minimap. These are the improvements for the process map. Thank you for watching.